Have you ever wondered why some people achieve incredible success while others stay stuck in the same place? It's not luck, not talent, not even intelligence. It's discipline. Discipline is the silent force behind every great achievement. It's the bridge between your dreams and your reality. In this video, we're diving deep into how to build unshakable discipline, the kind that keeps you going when motivation fades. Stay with me till the end, because mastering this one skill will change the way you work, think, and live forever. 1. Do what's necessary. Discipline is not about waiting for motivation or inspiration to strike. It's about doing what must be done regardless of how you feel. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They understand that readiness is a luxury, not a prerequisite. The moment you tell yourself, "I'll start when I'm in the mood," you've already surrendered power to comfort and procrastination. Success begins when you stop negotiating with yourself. The people who consistently achieve great things are not those who always feel energetic or inspired. They are those who act even when tired, disinterested, or uncertain. They show up. They execute. They do what's necessary, not what's convenient. Every time you take action despite resistance, you build the habit of reliability within yourself. You prove that your will is stronger than your emotions. That's what discipline really is. The daily choice to be dependable to yourself and to your goals. Imagine an athlete who trains not because they enjoy every session, but because they've committed to mastery. Or a writer who sits at the desk daily even when words refuse to flow because they understand that consistency beats bursts of inspiration. This mindset separates professionals from amateurs. The amateur waits for the right moment. The professional creates it through repetition and persistence. Discipline transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results because it compounds. Each act of discipline strengthens the muscle of consistency, and that consistency builds identity. When you start to see yourself as someone who always follows through, you begin to trust yourself, and that trust becomes unstoppable momentum. Doing what's necessary also means embracing responsibility over excuses. You stop blaming circumstances and start mastering them. Life rarely unfolds in ideal conditions, but the disciplined person learns to move forward regardless of those imperfections. They don't need everything to align perfectly. They align themselves instead. Every obstacle becomes a test of commitment. Every inconvenience becomes an opportunity to prove resilience. And in this steady, relentless practice of doing what needs to be done, whether it's waking up early, staying focused, or keeping promises, character is built. Ultimately, discipline liberates you. It frees you from the tyranny of mood and impulse. When you do what's necessary consistently, you stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop being controlled by fleeting desires and start being guided by purpose. The Stoics taught that freedom isn't doing whatever you want, but having mastery over yourself. And that mastery begins with doing what must be done, especially when you least want to. True discipline is the quiet, steady power of showing up every day without excuses. That's how progress is made. That's how winners are built. 2. Delay gratification. Instant gratification is the modern disease. We live in a world that worships speed, comfort, and convenience, where a click delivers food, a swipe delivers attention, and every discomfort can be numbed instantly. But the truth is, anything worthwhile, success, wisdom, love, health, wealth, takes time. Those who rise above mediocrity are the ones who learn to delay gratification, who can endure the pain of patience and the discomfort of waiting. The ability to say no to fleeting pleasures for the sake of lasting fulfillment is one of the greatest forms of strength. Every act of restraint is a declaration of control over your impulses, a reminder that you are not enslaved by your desires. When you delay gratification, you're not denying yourself joy. You're choosing a deeper, more meaningful version of it. You're saying, I'm willing to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term peace. Think of the investor who resists the urge to sell at the first sign of profit, the student who studies when others party, the athlete who trains instead of sleeping in. All of them are practicing the art of patience. And that patience compounds into greatness. The rewards of discipline are not immediate, but they are inevitable. You cannot rush mastery. You cannot rush growth. The oak tree takes years to mature, but it stands for centuries once rooted. The same is true for your ambitions. Delaying gratification also sharpens your appreciation of what you eventually earn. When success comes slowly, it comes with depth. You value it because you've paid the price in effort and endurance. Contrast this with instant rewards. They fade quickly because they cost nothing. The more you struggle for something, the more it means to you. This is why true wealth, not just financial but spiritual and emotional, is built through patience and persistence. The Stoics often reminded us that time tests all things. What is gained quickly is often lost quickly. What endures is what's earned through patience. In practicing delayed gratification, you also train your mind to think long-term. You learn to view life as a marathon, not a sprint. You start making decisions based on who you want to become, not just how you feel right now. And that shift in perspective, from impulse to intention, is the foundation of maturity. The greatest individuals throughout history understood this principle. They worked for years without recognition, delayed comfort for contribution, and endured hardship for legacy. To delay gratification is to align yourself with the rhythm of real growth. It's to understand that the most beautiful things in life, wisdom, love, mastery, peace, cannot be rushed. They bloom only through consistent effort, through time, through patience. And when you finally receive what you've been waiting for, you'll realize it was never just about the reward itself, but about who you became while waiting. That's the ultimate gift of delayed gratification, the transformation of the self. 3. Reject comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers, "You've done enough. You deserve to rest. Why struggle when you can relax?" But beneath its softness lies stagnation. Comfort kills progress because it convinces you to stop moving. It dulls your hunger, weakens your resolve, and replaces growth with complacency. The greatest danger in life is not failure. It's comfort. Because failure teaches, but comfort numbs. Growth lives only in discomfort, in the places where you are stretched, challenged, and uncertain. Discipline is the art of rejecting comfort in pursuit of purpose. Every meaningful achievement in history was born from discomfort, from people who were willing to suffer a little more, risk a little more, and push a little further than the rest. The warrior trains in the rain. The artist endures the blank canvas. The entrepreneur faces rejection after rejection, all because they understand that pain is not a punishment, but a pathway. The disciplined person does not seek suffering for its own sake, but they understand that discomfort is a necessary ingredient in transformation. You cannot strengthen muscles without resistance. You cannot strengthen character without adversity. Rejecting comfort means embracing struggle as a teacher. It means choosing the hard road when the easy one is available, not because you enjoy difficulty, but because you know that difficulty builds depth. The Stoics reminded us that ease corrupts the soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way." Each hardship you face, each uncomfortable situation you endure, becomes raw material for your growth. When you stop avoiding discomfort, you stop avoiding your potential. Comfort zones are dangerous because they disguise themselves as peace. But real peace comes from strength, and strength is forged only in the fires of challenge. To reject comfort is to live awake, to refuse the quiet decay of complacency. It is to accept that discomfort is not an enemy, but a companion on the journey toward mastery. Every time you choose discomfort, waking up early, speaking the truth, facing your fears, pushing your limits, you evolve. You gain resilience, clarity, and confidence that can't be bought or faked. In a world obsessed with convenience, choosing discomfort is revolutionary. It's an act of defiance against mediocrity. When you willingly step into the hard things, the tasks others avoid, the conversations others fear, the challenges others quit, you set yourself apart. You become stronger than your circumstances. You stop running from pain and start using it. Ultimately, rejecting comfort is not about self-denial. It's about self-mastery. It's choosing the path that makes you better, not just the one that feels good. Comfort offers temporary relief. Discomfort offers permanent growth. And when you learn to prefer progress over ease, you unlock a power few ever experience. Because the truth is, life will challenge you anyway, but the disciplined person meets challenge on their own terms. They don't wait for struggle, they seek it, knowing that in every hardship lies the seed of greatness. Rejecting comfort is how you stay alive, alert, and evolving. It's how you grow beyond what you thought you could be. 4. Build power habits. Power is rarely built in a day, and greatness is never the result of a single grand gesture. The Stoics remind us that consistency, not intensity, is the mother of transformation. The person who performs small, deliberate actions every day gains strength quietly, while those who chase bursts of motivation burn out in cycles of regret. Habits are the architecture of destiny. They are the unseen gears that turn your life forward. Slow, methodical, relentless. Reading for 10 minutes a day may seem trivial, yet compounded over years, it reshapes the mind. Exercising for half an hour may feel insignificant, yet it forges resilience that no fleeting inspiration can replace. The secret lies not in doing more, but in doing consistently. A man who masters his morning routine often masters his day, and the one who masters his days eventually masters his life. Marcus Aurelius did not become wise by accident. His meditations were born of daily reflection, small acts of writing that refined his mind one page at a time. Power habits are not built in comfort. The Stoic path demands discipline, the willingness to repeat the right actions even when emotion rebels. Discipline transforms a fragile intention into a living principle. When you exercise discipline, you teach your body who is in control. You remind your emotions that they serve reason, not the other way around. The first few days of a new habit feel like pushing a boulder uphill. But if you persist long enough, momentum begins to work for you. What was once effort becomes instinct. You no longer fight to do what's right. It becomes who you are. Seneca said that we should practice our virtues daily, for moral excellence, like physical strength, grows through repetition. Reading a page, saving a coin, taking a cold shower, waking early, these are not trivialities. They are declarations of war against mediocrity. Power habits compound over time, and their results are exponential. One good habit nurtures another. One act of discipline fertilizes a field of self-respect. When you honor your commitments to yourself, you experience a quiet pride that no external praise can equal. This internal satisfaction becomes fuel for future effort. Soon, you no longer chase motivation. You become motivation. Your very identity evolves from someone trying to change into someone who simply does what must be done. This is how ordinary men become exceptional, through hundreds of small, unglamorous decisions repeated faithfully until excellence becomes their default state. The Stoics understood that self-mastery is not about perfection, but persistence. The true strength lies not in never faltering, but in rising each time you stumble and returning to your habits with renewed humility. Do not be disheartened by missed days or moments of weakness. Instead, treat them as teachers. Each lapse reminds you of what life feels like when discipline fades, and thus sharpens your resolve to return to the path. Life is long, but power is built one morning, one meal, one decision at a time. The habits you repeat today will sculpt the person you wake up as tomorrow. So build deliberately, for your habits are the hands that shape your fate. Choose them wisely, guard them fiercely, and watch as the quiet power of discipline turns your life into an unshakable fortress of purpose. 5. Be reliable to yourself. Most people break the promises they make to themselves far more often than those they make to others. They treat their own word as negotiable, a contract to be rewritten whenever comfort calls. But the Stoic knows that the highest form of integrity begins within. To be reliable to yourself is to become trustworthy in the truest sense. For what worth is a man's word to others if he cannot even keep it with himself? Every time you set a goal and follow through, you lay another brick of self-respect. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," and actually do, you affirm that your will commands your world. The mind learns from experience. When you repeatedly promise and fail, your subconscious stops believing you. You erode your own authority. But when you follow through, when you rise early, finish the workout, keep the vow, your self-belief multiplies. You build a reputation with yourself that no one else can give or take away. Confidence is not built by affirmations. It is built by evidence. You cannot talk yourself into self-belief. You must prove it through disciplined action. Epictetus said that if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because integrity often means doing what others won't understand. You may look strange for declining distractions or working quietly while others idle, but every time you keep your word to yourself, you grow inwardly powerful. The Stoic does not boast. He simply does what he said he would do, and in that quiet reliability, he becomes unshakable. When you are reliable to yourself, you stop seeking external validation. Praise or criticism loses its grip on you because your worth no longer depends on the shifting opinions of others. You have become your own standard. Being reliable to yourself is not about grand achievements. It is about alignment. When your actions match your intentions, your mind becomes calm. When they diverge, anxiety is born. Many live in a state of low-grade guilt, constantly aware of the gap between what they want to be and what they actually do. The Stoic path closes that gap. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you unify thought and action. You restore harmony to your inner world. That harmony radiates outward as confidence, because confidence is simply the peace that comes from self-trust. You know that when you decide something, it will be done, and that knowledge is power. To be reliable to yourself is to live as your own ally. The world can betray you, People can disappoint you, but if you can rely on yourself, you remain undefeated. This reliability becomes a kind of inner armor, invisible yet unbreakable. Discipline is the forge, promises are the raw material, and self-respect is the sword that emerges. Each fulfilled commitment hones its edge. So start small. Keep one promise today, then another tomorrow. Over time, you'll discover that you no longer need to force discipline. It will flow naturally because your identity has changed. You are no longer someone who tries. You are someone who follows through. The Stoics called this living in accordance with one's nature. Not the nature of impulse, but the higher nature of reason. Be reliable to yourself, and you will never again doubt your strength. The man who keeps his own word walks with a calm that cannot be faked, for he knows he can trust the only person he must, himself. Discipline protects dreams. It guards your purpose and transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary stories. Stay disciplined, and you'll never need motivation again.